Good evening and welcome to Cathedral of the Black Goat. Tonight's discussion will be focusing on the spheres of the Qliphoth and those archdemons who are associated with those spheres. I will be reading select passages from the Book of the Black Serpent, which was originally published in 1900 for initiates of the Golden Dawn Isis Urantia Temple. First, the Infernal habitations. In the circle are waters of tears. In the second circle are the waters of creation. In the third circle are the waters of the ocean. In the fourth circle is the false sea. Upon the right hand, in the lesser circles, are names of 7 earths. Aretz, which is dry, crumbling earth. Adama, which is reddish mold. Gia, which is undulating ground, like the side of a valley. Nashia, pasture or meadow. Tizia, sandy or desert land. Arakwa, earth. Thebel or Chalad, mixed earth and water. Upon the left hand are the 7 infernal habitations. Sheol, which is the depths of the earth, or literally the pit. Abaddon, which is perdition. Tehaion, the clay of death. Bershakath, the it of destruction. Tezemoth, the shadow of death. Sherimoth, the gates of death. And Gehenna, which is hell. The evil and adverse powers beneath the feet of the 4 cherubim are Lilith, Makeloth, Samael, and Rahab. The names of the servitors of the Qliphothic rulers are expressed as the name of their ruler given in extentio, each name being the seed of a name of a subservient order. Thus Thamiel is served by Thadakiel, Abraxiel, Mahaziel, Azaziel, and Lucifagiel. The rest of the crowns likewise in the same manner. And this is the most important part between the Qliphoth and the archdemons. The relationship between the archdemons and the Qliphoth is that the Qliphoth rule on earth in temporal form and the archdemons rule the earth in a transcendental manner. One is visible and the other invisible. The invisible can be compelled to appear in diverse shapes, as we will find out. Both the archdemons and the Qliphoth are entirely evil and are not to be overcome. These are the 4 cherubic expressions of force and evil and adverse powers broken beneath their feet are Rahab, whose symbol is a terrible demon leaping upon an ox. Makeloth, a form compounded of a serpent and a woman, and she rideth upon a serpent scorpion. And Lilith, a woman outwardly beautiful, but inwardly corrupt and putrefying, riding upon a strange and terrible beast. 1. Bereron, so called because they are derived from the 4th evil, namely Samael the Black. Their colors are dull red and a black, and their form is that of a dragon lion. 2. Ademiron, whose colors are like blood mixed with water, a dull yellow and gray. Their form is that of a lion lizard. Sedegmiron, whose colors are like limpid blood, bronze and crimson. They are like savage triangular-headed dogs. Shesharion, whose colors are black, and their form blended of reptile, insect, and shellfish, such as the crab and the lobster, yet demon-faced withal. Sezapharion, whose colors are fiery and yellow, and their form like merciless wolves and jackals. Oberon, whose colors are like clouds, and their form like gray, bloated goblins. Gacherion, whose color is like copper, and their form is like that of a most devilish and almost human-headed insect. Nakasheron, whose colors are like serpents, and their form like dog-headed serpents. Dagdarion, whose colors are reddish and gleaming, and their form like vast and devouring flat-headed fishes. Behemeron, whose name is derived of Behemoth, and their colors are black and brown, and their form those of awful beasts, like a hippopotamus and an elephant, but crushed flat, or as if their skin was spread out flat over the body of a gigantic beetle or cockroach, crawling yet having vast strength. Nashchemeron, whose colors are of a stagnant, gleaming, watery hue, and their forms like hideous women, almost skeletons, united to the bodies of serpents and fishes. The evil and adverse Sephiroth. These be the evil and adverse Sephiroth contained in the 7 evil places, and these Sephiroth have their place from behind the holiness of the world of Isa, and Samael, the evil, surroundeth the whole evil Sephiroth, who are thus 11 instead of 10. Together belong the Thamiel or Thamiel, the bicephalous ones, and their forms are those of dual giant heads with bat-like wings. They have not bodies, for they are those who seek continually to unite themselves unto the bodies of other beings and forces. Chakma are referred to the dukes of Esau and Goetia, or as it's sometimes written, Oghiel, and they attract themselves unto living and material appearances, and their form is like that of the black evil giants with loathsome serpents twined around them. Unto Bina are referred the Satariel or Harasiel, the concealers and destroyers, whose forms and appearances are a gigantic veiled head with horns and hideous eyes seen through the veil, and they are followed by evil centaurs. These are also Serial from Esau because of their hairiness. The second place containeth Chesed, unto which are attributed the Gog Shekalath, the disturbing ones, and their symbolic form are those of the black cat-headed giants. They are also called Aziel, Chazariel, and Agniel. Aziel, which happens to be one of the demons found in the Magia Naturalis, I would point out. The third place containeth Gebura, whereunto are attributed Golaheb, or burners with fire, otherwise called Zaphiel, and their forms are those of enormous black heads, like a volcano in eruption. The fourth place containeth Tepereth, whereupon are attributed Zamiel, and they are great black giants, ever working against each other. The fifth place containeth Nexet, whereunto are attributed the Goreb Zerek, or dispersing ravens. Their form is that of the hideous demon-headed ravens issuing from a volcano, also called Getzviel. The sixth place containeth Had, whereunto are referred the Samael or deceivers, whose form is that of a dull demon-headed dog-like monsters. The seventh palace containeth Yezald or Malkuth. Unto Yezald are referred the Gamaliel, or obscene ones, whose form are those of corrupting, loathsome bullmen. Linked together thereunto are also referred Nachashiel, evil serpents, and Abriel. Thereunto belongeth the blind dragon force. Unto Malkuth is attributed Lilith, the evil woman, afterwards changing to a black monkey-like demon. The name of the serpent Nakash hath the same number as that of the Messiah, who will root out all the Qliphoth from the world. And these are the evil chiefs. Unto Kether is Satan or Moloch. Unto Chakma is Beelzebub. 3 is Lucifuge or Raphael. Unto Chesed is Astaroth. Unto Gebura is Asmodee. Unto Tipereth is Belphegor. Unto Nidzak is Baal. Unto Had is Adramalik. To Yezad is Lilith. And unto Malkuth is Nehema. Behemoth and Leviathan are 2 evil forms, of which the first is the synthesis of the Qliphoth already described under the head of Behemeron in the Qliphoth of the months of the year of the 11th. The Leviathan are, as it were, numberless dragon forms united together, so that each of his scales is, as it were, a separate evil serpent.